Guten Tag and hello. Welcome back to the Märklin Outsider, episode 12, Getting Started Part 2. I haven't even changed shirts. In the previous episode, I talked about looking for a train to get started. You've seen the Märklin system, as a few emails have told me, and now you want to go to it, but you have reservations about, I don't even know where to buy Märklin. Well, you contacted me in the way you're going to buy online. But I will try to be brief and explain how to get a Märklin or a Märklin related digital train and even the digital train system, which I talked about in episode 11. First of all, before I get any angry comments, which fortunately I never get, knock on wood, if you have a model shop near you, support it, okay? The number one place to buy is at your local model train shop or hobby shop. If they have or can get what you want, shop there, support the local business, support the people that are in the train hobby. That's the number one place where you should look to buy. All right, I've said that. I fully believe in it. If I had a Märklin dealer nearby, I would shop there. The closest Märklin dealer is 2 hours away. And yes, I do occasionally go there. Although what I say later may sound hypocritical, it is what it is. So number one, check your local train shop. But several people, especially Americans who don't live on the east or the west coast or near Chicago, have talked to me both through my Märklin Outsider videos and Facebook, as well as emails. They've talked to me about how hard it is to get Märklin stuff, even if they like what they see and what Märklin can do. They don't have local train shops. The gentleman in Canada says he lives 8 hours away from the closest local train shop, and that doesn't even sell Märklin. I live 2 hours away. The gentleman in Costa Rica says he doesn't even know of a model train shop anywhere near where he lives in Costa Rica or even in the country. He can Google and find out. The gentleman in Australia says he lives far away from Melbourne and Sydney, where there are actually some shops that do sell some Märklin stuff, but again, he lives far away. I live far away, and the shop that's closest to me does not have a lot of Era 6 trains and materials. That's what I'm into. So, again, preaching before the choir rebels. If you can, support your local train shop. If I lived in Germany or closer to Chicago, I would support my local train shop. Probably. At least to some point. Your biggest option for a lot of you in North America, Central and South America, is buying online. Number one option, eBay. You'll find thousands of Märklin related products or tricks related products. If you're going to do two-rail DCC, you'll find them on eBay. You are buying used, pay attention. Other than eBay, when you're going online, you look for the big online model train distributors, shops. I'm going to mention about 4 here in North America that I think are worth your time. And I'm going to apologize to several people ahead of time here if I don't mention specifically your shop, even if I've done some business with you. I apologize. odds are they don't see my videos anyhow. All right. The number one site for you to look up Märklin Digital related trains and accessories is just outside of Chicago, Illinois. It's a store called Reynaulds. They are a big model train. They claim to be the biggest model train store, or one of the biggest, but they may do the most business online of any of the shops I'm going to mention. They may do more than anybody, but they're called Reynaulds. They're based in just outside Chicago, as I mentioned. They have an amazing selection of European trains. They also do American, but they are really, the owner even flies to Germany and goes to some of the trade shows or sends representatives now because he's getting older to watch the new toy fairs that show what's coming out. So they're very familiar with the German and Central European train market, French. And when I say Central European, I'm talking basically continental, from France over to Czech Republic, maybe even into Poland, from Italy up to Norway and Sweden. Basically everything but far Eastern Europe and the United Kingdom. Anyhow, they have a great collection, and actually Reynaulds does do Hornby and a couple of the British 00 gauge manufacturers. Bachmann, they have a Bachmann, but Bachmann also does HO, and I don't look to see exactly what they have 00. Anyhow, Reynaulds is centrally located in the United States. They have a great selection. They have very fair prices for the North American continent. Their customer service and their delivery time and charges can be sketchy at times. And it's not that their customer service is rude or disrespectful. It's just a lot of times they don't know what they're doing. They'll say they have product in stock, they don't. They say they're shipping it out tomorrow, they ship it a week and a half later or a month later. There's plenty of negative stories, but overall, it's a very good shop. So Reynaulds fans and loyal customers, hey, it is what it is. Maybe you've never had a problem. I've done limited business with them and seem to always have some kind of misinformation or delivery issue. Maybe I'm just unlucky that way. The biggest, at least according to them, is Micro Macro Mundo, which means small big world, out of Florida. I think they're in the Tampa Bay area, Orlando area of Florida. They claim to be the largest Märklin distributor. They even claim that when Reynaulds doesn't have it, Reynaulds gets it from them. They have excellent customer service. Their shipping charges are really bad. And their prices are probably on the highest of the main national big online market shops. Again, they also have a store. They're not just some warehouse. They actually have a shop. They just have a huge warehouse and they distribute. My personal favorite, their prices are usually lower, but all three can top each other in certain places. But it's called AJCKids in Texas. And again, the links to these places are in the introduction section below. AJCKids is a fantastic shop based in Texas, just outside of Fort Worth, if I remember correctly. Best prices consistently. Sometimes Reynaulds beats them, sometimes, well, I don't think MMM ever beats anybody in price unless they're having a special sale. But AJCKids, great customer service, very nice selection. They are a big Märklin dealer, and so they're definitely worth a look because I have bought several things from them. In Canada, there is one major shop that I'm aware of, and they seem to be the better one, is Euro Rail Hobbies. Now, originally they were based just north of the American-Canadian border in Vancouver, British Columbia, just north of Vancouver, Washington. About a year or so ago, maybe 2 years now, he moved more inland into a tiny little town, I think it's called Sunderland, which to me is in the middle of nowhere in Canada. I don't see how it helped his business. But I digress. Anyhow, Euro-Rail Hobbies in Canada, very good prices, excellent customer service, very strong recommendations. I would hate to pick between who's got better customer service, AJCKids or Euro-Rail Hobbies. Let's just say both of them are better than anybody else out there. Anyhow, they're Canadian. They have very good prices, very competitive with AJCKids and Reynaulds. Excellent customer service, as I mentioned. The biggest problem is if you live outside of Canada, the shipping charges go up quite a bit. AJCKids, just to talk about shipping again, probably the lowest shipping prices and also the quickest turnover from order to getting it. You can have an order from Reynaulds that might take a week or it might take 2 months. You never know. I would say an average estimate is at least 2 weeks from placing your order till it actually shows up, and most of the time even more, but just based on what other people say, at least a 2-week average. There are several shops in the New York, New Jersey area. Euro-Rail Hobbies, Trans-European Express, they all got similar names. Black Forest Hobbies up in, I think they're in the Boston area. Again, I might be wrong because I really don't do a lot of business with them. But, and on the West Coast, I know AC Euro Trains. AC for Andrew Chevalier, Euro Trains in Stockton, California. He doesn't have the greatest selection of Märklin, but he does have Märklin, and he also sells a lot of the other big German stuff. He is a Euro Train specialist, so even though I say he doesn't have a big selection, customer service again, fantastic, prices very fair. He'll find what you need. If you can't find it anywhere else, he'll find it. I have bought and had him work on some things for me. But that's the American side. Or, my apologies to my Canadian, Mexican, and Central American friends, that's the North American side. Having said all that, and talking good or bad about some of those shops, truly, if you live like I do, far from anybody that has what you need, buy direct from Germany. This is going to anger some people. Buy direct from the shops in Germany. And there's 2 reasons why I tell you to buy direct from Germany. Number 1, you'll actually get your models for cheaper, much cheaper. The shipping cost to buy it from a shop in Germany is a lot less than the markup cost for it to come overseas, go through the import stations on the coast, sitting in there, and then the taxes, the import fees and tariffs and so forth, and then getting it to your shop and they having to jack up their price a bit to make their profit, even though they're buying it wholesale and usually get a deal. They got to make their profit. I'm not going to knock them for that. They got to make their money to stay in business. When you buy direct from Germany, you're avoiding all those fees. But also, most shops in Germany will sell the Märklin and any other train company will sell it for under manufacturer's suggested retail price. Often 10%, 20% under manufacturer's suggested retail price. Where in America, it tends to be at the manufacturer's suggested retail price. My specific shop, Modellbahnshop-Lippe, based in Detmold, Germany, is both a store and an online shop. They're the ones I would say go to. I have compared dozens of online shops from Germany, and I've had disagreements and debates with many people on Märklin sites in Germany, Märklin forums, because everybody has their favorite shop. And again, in Germany, when you live near a shop, support your local guy. But when it comes to ordering online, I have yet to find a shop that comes close to beating Modellbahnshop-Lippe. And here's the second reason. When you buy direct from Germany and use their higher postage, which most of these shops suggest you do, you get it faster. And you get it faster for two reasons. Number one, it just works faster that way. If I order something Sunday night, Lippe gets the order the next morning, it's on my doorstep Thursday that week. 4 days. I've even had a couple show up in 3 days, and one show up in 5 days. Yeah, it was terrible that extra day. AJCKids, I can get stuff about 8 to 10 days. Reynaulds, I told you, a minimum of 2 weeks. But there's more to it than that. The German shops get the trains at least a month before they hit the American market, the North American market. You get the trains faster in Germany. When a train's released and sent to the stores on August 1st, they're in the shops by August 7th. And if you've reserved one and ordered it, it's off to you, and you'll have it within, let's say, within 2 weeks from the time it was released in Germany. But literally, from the time the shop got it, I'm getting it in 4 to 5 days. That same train that was released on August 1st, and you have it by August 9th, won't even be available from an American shop until mid-September, October. Now, Reynaulds and MMM, and even the owner of AJCKids, a Dutch gentleman, they occasionally fly over and load their I hope I don't script the guy, but I think it's the gentleman from AJCKids. He has his own plane. He flies over to Germany a couple of times a year and just picks up the stuff direct. And so occasionally he'll have things in stock within a week or two from it being released in Germany. But that's a unique case. Otherwise, most of the trains that are released in Germany in August don't hit the American shores until mid-September at the earliest. So, if you're going to buy a train, you're stuck in the middle of nowhere, you don't have a train shop, obviously go online. See what eBay has. And if you buy used, you're going to save money. But if you want to save money and you're not an American loyal to buying from an American shop and keeping Americans employed, the best way is to buy directly from shops in Germany. There's another place called Bessere Preise, which sells everything. It's not just trains. But they claim to be very low price. And there's dozens of others. You'd almost have to just Google online train shops in Germany. But Lippe will always be the first one that comes up. And people, if you go to the Märklin online forums, Facebook or Instagram, some guys will say, nah, go here instead. That's fine. Go with whatever you're happy with. But I have yet to find anybody that beats Lippe for prices. So, find a train, buy a train, and have fun. And on that note, I'll end this 2-part series and say, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains.